Hi guys, it's Cindy with Pups and Crochet. I'm getting on here kind of late. I was kind of debating on doing a video today or not, but you know, I'm gonna do it because I have an hour left before my mom's birthday is over. She would have been 84 today. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about her. I'll do another video tomorrow about some other things that I've been working on. But today I just wanted to do my mama. Excuse all my boxes and stuff in the back. I got things going out. And I just wanted to talk to you about my mama. Her name is Ellen. And she's a beautiful lady. I'll show you some pictures. That's my mama. And then that's her mom. That's right after they came up from Tennessee. She took care of, my grandma had 9 kids. So there was 9 aunts and uncles from my mom's side. And my mom, I wouldn't call him a grandpa because he was just evil. But the donor for all the kids was very mean. So my mom got married. She moved to Illinois and started working in a box factory and down in Chicago. And they had their place. And as soon as she saved up enough money, she sent and got all the kids and my grandma out. So the younger ones out of the 9 didn't know anything about Tennessee and working the sharecroppers. Her family was a sharecropper. They did tobacco fields and stuff like that. And my grandma did gardens and stuff for their food and all the canning and everything. And Mom would tell me all the stories about living in Tennessee up in the mountains and saving up for when the peddler guy would come by and they would get 1 nickel a month. And with the nickel, they can buy a bottle of Coke and they could get a piece of candy. So they would always go for the biggest piece of candy so that they could eat a little bit and hide it under their pillow for the next night. And they would make that last forever. And she would say how they would hook the horses up into a churn and they'd have molasses, and the molasses the horses would walk around and churn the molasses. And she said that all the kids would sit by there, and when the molasses churns for so long, it builds up a foam, and that they would all take a stick and get the foam, and that would be like special candy for them. And she just told me all kinds of things. Like my grandma, back then, she said in any of the flour or soap or sugar, they would get either a little mug, teacup, a plate, a dinner plate, a bread plate, or silverware. And so each time they got something different, and my grandma would put it away till they had the full set that would cover all 11 of them, 9 kids and her and him. And my mom wanted a tea set. She wanted to have, because the ones that lived down in the city, down in the, they call it the city, but down in the things were all the richy people. And so she would go and help clean up to earn extra money, because she started working at 14. And they really didn't question it because she said she was 16 able to work. And, they never questioned it or anything. So she was working in a factory. And then, so she just did stuff like that. So my grandma had built her a little cabin thing out of wood, and then made her a little table and took moss from the ground and covered the table and she had her little plastic tea set that they had saved up and got her for Christmas one year. And she would just tell me all this stuff. I mean, it was just so much fun to listen to her stories. And how, and especially I loved the peddler stories when he would come by and, she would get to pick something off the truck and a nickel would buy them the soda and the candy. And here she is. It's got her all spit curls and everything. And I believe that's my brother Billy. But if you look at the cars in the background, and this is when she had her first child in Chicago. And then I found this one. I've been trying to keep it away from the air. But that's my Corey, my Sadie, and my mom at Chuck E. Cheese. And this was, over 18 years ago. So this photo has been holding up. So I've been keeping it out of the air so it doesn't disintegrate, because it shows a good picture of my mom and what she looked like now. And then I have this one. They went back to Tennessee. Now, this one's that one's my Aunt May. Now, she's the one that's never left Tennessee. These are her twins, Carla and Darla. Then my mom, my Aunt Brenda, and I think my Aunt Barbara was taking the picture. And every 20 years we have a set of twins, and they're always girls. So the first set was Brenda and Linda. Then the next set was Carla and Darla. And we wait for each generation for when the next set of twins are coming. So we know it's not Sadie, and it's not Corey, Kristen, because they checked. It's only one. I was hoping Kristen would have the 2 girls, but no, just one. Oh, here's this one. This is from January of '62. My mama acting all sexy on her brand new bed. She had her hair done. Now this one, she didn't have her beehive. I have a couple pictures of her with that real big beehive, and sexy mama. And she was just the greatest lady. And today is my Andrew's birthday. It's my nephew, my sister's youngest one. He was born on her birthday. So my grandma, his grandma, my mom, swore that Andrew was her birthday present. So they had every year then after that, it was no more birthdays for grandma. It was only birthdays for Andrew. Everything that Andrew wanted. And I went because my mom was just so hard to buy for. She never wanted anything. Never wanted anything, never needed anything. She said, there's nothing I want. So I got her gift cards so she could go get new shoes. I got her a clothing one to go get new clothes. I got her ones to get her hair done so that she would actually spend it on herself. Well, I came home from work. She had all the kids. They were gone. She used the gift cards and took these for a haircut, this one for new shoes, this one for new clothes. I'm like, really? Really? You you know what? It was all the kids. They had to have everything. And so, excuse me. So, after her right before her last set, before she broke her hip, and they found that she had colon cancer, that it had come back for the third time. But right before that, my niece, my Kristen, who's having Olivia, she called me and said she wants to do a surprise party for Mom, and she wants to do it in early October, so that Mom would have a special birthday just of her own. And since my mom was so sick and on chemo and everything, and I called, there's this place that if you're 65 or older, you can make a wish. And they put it through their group, and if they decide to grant your wish, you get it. Like one guy wanted to see Las Vegas. So they paid for his hotel, they paid for his food. The only thing is they don't give gambling money and they don't give out gifts. This is just for an experience for you, you know. So I had read about that, so I had called them and I talked with them and I said, my niece is planning a surprise party for my mom, and she's really sick. She's got cancer. She's going through her chemo again, and she can't go anywhere. She can't fly. She can't travel real far. She has to stay close. I said, but my niece is having a surprise party for her. So I would like to know if the little people, to be able to grant her a wish. She always wanted to see the little people that I talked about. I saw them at a wedding one time, and I was telling her, and she was talking about that. So he said, well, let me get back to you, because usually we like to talk to the person about their wish and get their insights and stuff. And I said, well, this is a surprise, so, you know, I don't really want her to know if you'd be able to do that. And what it is it's these people, you have to be 5'4" and under to get into these costumes. And then the head is like this big, and it comes down like this. And then their face is like in the body of this character. And like for weddings, they'll send a bride and groom. They always come in a set of two. So like one was having a Western party, so they came in as a cowboy and a cowgirl. And so they approved it because of the condition with my mom. They approved it, and they sent 2 little people, and they were dressed up as the birthday people, you know, birthday girl, birthday boy. And we had got all our aunts and uncles, got all our family, told everybody, this special party for Mom, come visit, you know, come there. We had the whole back of this pizza place, and we did like a whole thing of like salads and pastas and chicken and pizzas, everything everybody could want. Little kids, you know, all had their own little section, you know, so everybody could come and have a good time. And so then my mom, I got a hold of one of my mom's, a bunch of them, but one she hasn't seen in years. I mean, years upon years upon years. And her name was Donna. And so I had called her. I talked to her son, got me her new number. I talked to her and asked her if she would come. So she showed up at my mom's party. And, you know, I was holding my mom's arm and I'm walking her around. She's seeing everybody, all her old friends and everybody. And I walked her over and I said, Mom, do you know who this is? And she said, no. And I said, it's Donna Dove. My mom bursted out crying. They were hugging and screaming, and they were having a blast. But we had kept this as a super surprise. And we had told my mom that it was my niece's husband, Louis, going to have the party for his family, and that Kristen wanted us to come so she would have us to talk to while he was with his family and that. So when we walked in the door for the party, everybody was clapping when they saw her. Everybody was clapping. So she couldn't really see that well at that point. And she was clapping and clapping and clapping. And she goes, "Whose party is it?" And we said, "It's your party." So she got to meet everybody. She saw her old friends, and they were laughing and talking and telling stories, and she just stayed seated pretty much the whole time. And then the little people came in, and they started singing and dancing. My mom actually got up with one of her old police friends, and they got up and started dancing in the middle of this. And we have it on video and everything, but she started dancing, and everybody was just cheering, and we had the greatest time. And that was in October, and we lost her in January. So it was like, you know, her perfect going out party kind of thing. And she always told us that the day she gets put in the ground is the day that hell freezes over. And I am not kidding you when I tell you this, because I would never take her anywhere. People from the South take care of their own. So I kept her home with me. I had the nurse that comes in for that kind of thing. She would show me what to do, how to give her medicine. And at that point, she was just barely taking water off a spoon. But we talked, and I had put the hospital bed, they brought it in, put the hospital bed in the living room, put the couch and love seat on each side. And Sadie and Corey were both in and out going to work and stuff, and Kristen would come and stay with me. And me and Chris would each take a couch and sleep next to Mom, so we could watch her and I could get her medicine and stuff. And I never left her side. Chris would stay there as much as with me as she could. And my sister, she's not very good with medical stuff, so she'd visit for a little while, and then when Mom would start hurting, she would leave. And so my birthday is February 14th. My niece's birthday is December 14th. So we're the two 14ths, right? And so the day she died is crazy, because it was exactly 1414, January 4th of 14. So it was the two 14s of us sleeping around her, or laying. We didn't really sleep that much, but laying beside her. And that's when she passed away. Like, that was our gift. It was, she did it, the 1414 for the two of us. I don't know. It was just weird. But she did always say that the hell would freeze over before she was ever put in the ground. So I had lost it. The kids had made the arrangements. My sister helped, and I was just gone after spending so much time with her and everything. I mean, more than we normally would, talking about things of everything, and just sharing all the life that we could, you know. And the day that we had the wake and the funeral, because you know, we had to do this right for her. And so that we had the wake. And if you ever look up Illinois on that, you know, like 2 days later, it was the coldest day in Illinois ever to ever come through. So my mom was right. Hell had froze over before she ever would go into the ground. And she always loved Casey. He was a customer that she always waited on in her family, his wife and his son, and then his son's wife. Well, over the years, Casey had gotten sick. So Casey Jr., I called him and I asked him if he would please come and say the prayer and everything over Mom. So he came. I ran to him and held on to him for like life, because I just felt that it was happy for her to have him come. And his wife came and she was holding on to me, and he got up there, and I asked the funeral director if they minded if he took over the spot instead of the guy that normally does it. And they said, no, that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. I said, okay. So he got up there, and Robert's mom and dad and Robert were there, and so Casey got up there and he started telling stories about Mom, about how he'd go out to eat and Mom would wait on them, and because she was working at a restaurant at that time, and that he couldn't understand why his dad wanted to listen to this lady tell these dirty jokes to him and all this stuff. He goes, but after a while, she just grew on you, and you just couldn't have your day without meeting her, So he said, and he just had all of us that were bawling our eyes out. He actually made us giggle. He made it peaceful and sweet, and it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. And then the funeral home was really great. They gave all the kids, all our nieces and nephews that were old enough to do it, they gave them a set of gloves so that they could, I didn't understand why the gloves at first. And then after we got to the cemetery, they said what they do is they place the gloves on top of the casket, and then she gets buried with each one of the gloves with the love of her grandchildren. And I thought that was just so beautiful, and it's just these little things and stuff. And sometimes it gets to the point where you forget how they sounded. So I'll watch videos and see her when she was heavy, then when she got thin, and then her laughing, then her screaming at me, Cindy, shut that camera off. Because we went back down to Tennessee, and I was filming everything because they had built up Sparta so much. Because it used to only have one level hotel that had 6 rooms. That was it. That was in the town, and then they had like a McDonald's or something, but there was really nothing there. And a Dollar General. Always a Dollar General in Tennessee. And we had gone back a couple times, and she had showed me where they grew up in the mountains, and I didn't think we were ever going to get down because we drove up far, and she showed me her house that was just basically sticks and pieces of wood. It collapsed and over the years, and and all that. So it was nice to see how she grew up. And a lot of them went back to Tennessee. A lot of them stayed here. And it was just but the party was beautiful. It celebrated her just wonderfully. And it was such an awesome idea. And Kristen was so proud of it because it was awesome. So I just wanted to come on and just tell you a little bit about that. Tell you why I haven't been on. I've been kind of gloomy today. And I just want to let you know a little bit about her. Because she would have been 84 today. And then January 4th is the day I really hate. because that was the day that made it totally final for me. But so if you don't see me on January 4th, then you know why. But I wanted to tell you about her because she's an amazing woman. She taught me everything. She loved everybody. She's grouchy when she wanted to be. But altogether, she was a great woman. And she was just lived life. Made everybody laugh. Did goofy things. Always for the grandkids. Did goofy things to make them laugh and stuff. But I just wanted to let you know about a wonderful woman. And I'm gone a little longer than I thought it would, but so hugs and puppy kisses to you all. And remember, adopt, don't shop. And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.